Welcome to another episode of Solitaire Quest. I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, too, So, yeah, we're watching some Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Okay. Yeah. So Kurtzman Trek, the people who are running Bad Robot, they've actually decided to get their shit together and try to make proper Star Trek. Which is hilarious, which is... yeah. Oh, this table, it's so rickety. Oh, man. So, yeah, Star Trek Strange New Worlds from the same people who brought you Kurt from Discovery and Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Lower Decks and the fucking Star Trek fucking shit with the Delta Quadrant. So, yeah. So, yeah, we got Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Can Kurtzman Trek? Can the people who run Kurtzman Trek actually make proper Star Trek if they tried? That is the question we seek to answer in this episode of reviewing of Star Trek Picard. So yeah, tonight, at this moment, at this time, let's get into it. So yeah. We got a stupid fucking ass corporate intro. Alarms going off in a control center with a voiceover about first contact. We get the visual of a Saladin class. So, yeah, that's nice. But yeah, it's like there's a fucking gap in the nacelle. The whole like they had for the fucking Constitution class in the design of this ship. There's a fucking gap, like the nacelle is connected by two pylons instead of one continuous straight pylon to the ship. So yeah, that was nice. And we have there's no sensor antenna attached to the Saladin class, which I always thought that to be like the deflector or something. The big antenna below the saucer. I always figured that to be like a fucking deflector dish, but I'm wrong on that one. So, yeah, we got Bear Creek, Montana. We got The Day the Earth Stood Still playing in the background. Oh my god. Look at that, folks. It's like you have a science fiction... They're watching some old science fiction show on a television that's a reference to what this episode is about. So yeah, the chick wakes up and sees Pike. They're both captaining. They're both captains. We have a ringing communicator. So yeah, Pike is questioning stuff, and he's a reluctant protagonist as he sips some coffee. He's riding a horse in the wintertime, and there's fucking windmills in the fucking future. Okay, yeah, in a world with fucking antimatter reactors and fusion generators, there's fucking windmills still in operation. They look pretty fucking modern, but okay. And we got a classic-ish looking shuttlecraft, which looks more advanced than what they had in the original series. Yeah, So yeah, black guy shows up and he needs Pike back in the saddle. And yeah, this black guy is captain, or he's admiral now. He's Christopher, Robert Aprils, who is apparently the first captain of the Enterprise before Pike. And yeah, he apparently, in previous other depictions, he was white. So in the animated series, he was white. Oh, so they blackwashed the character. Okay. Yeah, the intro they have is actually good, even with the 20% different Constitution class. Spock and T'Pring are enjoying a meal, and Spock is asked to be married. So yeah, Spock is prevented from crushing some pussy by Pike. Okay, I don't need to see Spock crushing pussy. I don't need to see that. If I did, I'd go to fucking Pornhub or fucking X videos. But no, yeah, it's like I really don't want to see Spock in sexual situations. It's like he's a stoic character. He deserves doesn't deserve. It's like it's like I don't want to see him doing that shit. So, yeah. Pike gets back to the Enterprise, and Lieutenant Kirk is mentioned. So, yeah. And it's not actually James T. Kirk. It's Sam Kirk, Kirk's brother. So, yeah. And we have Lahan Noonien Singh is Chief of Security. Okay. So, yeah, we have the descendant of Khan. Khan's descendant is the Chief of Security of the Starship Enterprise. Okay, folks, this is what we call in the review business jangling the keys in front of the fans. You hear that, folks? This is the key jangling. This is me, Kurtzman Trek. Looky here, Star Trek fans. I'm jangling you some keys. Jangling some keys. Here, have some fucking member berries. Have some fucking member berries, you fucking fans. You Star Trek fans. You fucking fans. That's Alex Kurtzman, by the way. This is my Alex Kurtzman impersonation. It's me, Alex Kurtzman. I'm jangling the keys for you Star Trek fans. Have some member berries. Yeah. So yeah, Khan Noonien Singh, he's now a bad father because he left her descendant back on Earth. Left her back on Earth, didn't bring her descendant with him on the Botany Bay. He's now a bad dad. Okay. Yeah. And she's not looking that really brown. She's not looking brown, folks. And yeah, Khan left his descendant or her descendant to fend for themselves after the fucking eugenics war. So he's bad dad. Wrote down my notebook, jangling the keys, folks. Jangling the keys. So yeah, Uhura is Uhura, she's the prodigy communication officer. My fucking god. Every young character in Kurtzman Trek, they all have to be fucking prodigies. So she's apparently a fucking prodigy. So, yeah. We have an all-chick bridge crew. With the exception of Spock and Pike. Every other bridge member of the crew is fucking is a fucking chick. He has a full. So yeah, Pike has a his bridge staff is all chicks. Spock confronts Pike after touching the crystal. Apparently he saw his death. Or the death of his former self. So yeah, so Captain Pike, he is concerned about an event that is going to be happening decades from now. Okay? Like, he's going to get irradiated, he's going to get put in the chair, he's going to be wheeled out on the chair, and apparently he's concerned about that. He's got some PTSD angst going on. So this is a decade from happening. And literally, all he has to do is fucking have a reminder to himself. Don't take trainees on this day. He literally has to make a point of it in his schedule to not take a class of trainees on a fucking starship. So yeah, we got a fireplace built into this starship. It's got a custom space. He's got a custom starship in his ship fireplace. So yeah, a Saladin class ship is basically. So yeah, you have the Saladin class. A ship that is basically a Constitution saucer section with a nacelle attached to it, with the drive section and all those other bits put into the saucer section, is apparently only fucking crewed by only 3 people. So yeah, Pike has to rescue Una, his first officer. So, yeah. Lady Khan calls for shields and Pike agrees. Apparently they have warp bombs. Oh, yeah. So, apparently the act of creating a warp bubble can apparently be used for making bombs. What? That's fucking stupid. I mean, it's more efficient to take matter and antimatter, smash them together to create an explosion than it is to create a warp drive powered by an antimatter reactor. So yeah, you have a warp drive powered by an antimatter reactor made into a bomb, which is apparently more of a bomb than just matter and antimatter blowing up. Oh yeah, where the fuck did these people get? Where did the hell did they get the dilithium to make the warp bombs? So yeah, Norris Chapel is introduced to this series. And this is for Norris Chapel and Uhura. Jangle the keys. Jangle the keys. So yeah, gene therapy used for to make disguises. You're using gene therapy to make disguises. Okay. You're using gene therapy to fucking disguise yourself as fucking aliens. You're using gene therapy to disguise yourself as fucking aliens. Okay. Okay, so that's fucking ridiculous. Considering, and not canon to the rest of the series, considering whenever someone needed to be disguised as another alien, they would just play it off as like surgery and prosthetics. Never in the history of the series of Star Trek was gene therapy ever introduced to make disguises. Also, you'd think that would fucking break some fucking genetic DNA ban alterations. You'd think they would ban, like, genetic augmentations, even temporary. You'd think they would be banned. Also, yeah, you're fucking modifying yourself to look like another alien race pretty quickly. That's fucking painful. So yeah, Lady Khan takes the procedure without pain drugs. Away team has new clothes beamed on to them. They go into a transporter wearing their normal uniforms, and they get beamed down, and they're wearing new altered clothes. That's not how the fucking transporter works there. It's not supposed to, it's not for making clothes. Yeah, replicators don't exist in this time. They're not supposed to exist in this time. The Federation hasn't mastered that technology. They don't have replicators yet. And for for replicator systems to be integrated into fucking transporter systems, my god. So yeah, bad canon right there. So apparently, there's a second American Civil War. Apparently, January 6th started a second American Civil War. And then after the second American Civil War, you get the Eugenics War. And then from there, you have World War III. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. So apparently, in the aftermath of a second American Civil War, apparently they thought it was a good idea to screw around with eugenics. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I wonder which side was screwing around with eugenics technology. Who was creating Supermen in the aftermath of the Second American Civil War? Was it the conservative? Was it the conservatives? The Republicans screwing around with genetic Superman? Making genetic Superman? Or was it the Democrats? So yeah, Kurtzman Trek is implied, and from previous Star Trek Picard, from Star Trek Picard, they establish in their own fucking little continuity of fanfic that the eugenics war, that Khan was created by the Americans. Oh, man. So they're implying that the Democrats, in the aftermath of the Second American Civil War, created Khan. Okay. At least with Star Trek, the original series. In the 60s, the eugenics war was set in the 1990s. And, Star Trek, the original series, it's like, okay, alternate, they weren't trying to tie in modern history with, Star Trek. They weren't, in Star Trek, the original series, they weren't trying to tie in modern day history with Star Trek, the original series. They weren't trying to do that. Except for the time that they traveled to the 60s, they weren't trying to tie things into modern day or into modern history. And in Star Trek The Next Generation, in the Next Generation era, with Star Trek Voyager, they sort of retconned the eugenics wars. They didn't happen in the 90s. At least I don't think they happened. Well, at least I don't think they... So yeah, in the aftermath, in Star Trek Voyager, they retconned the eugenics war happening much later instead of the 90s. It happens much later, And they established that first contact happened in the 2060s. So there's a whole 60 years of ambiguous history. So you could theoretically fit in a eugenics war, and you could fit in World War III, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's like they had the Bell Riots that happened in the 2020s. So you could theoretically maybe like genetic Superman, the eugenics wars happened previous to that. So yeah, there was a good 60 years of in between space. But now, not only so in the chaos, in all this chaos, there's now a second American Civil War. So, and yeah, Khan is created by the Americans. So, in the aftermath, Khan apparently ruled over, I would assume, apparently Khan, he ruled over the United States of America. Am I getting that? Because that's what they're implying with Star Trek Picard. And it tying into this stupid whacked out continuity. That's what they're fucking implying. So, America creates Khan, and then Khan, out of America, that has all the nukes, creates, there's a eugenics war. Was he trying to go for power or something? Because it's established that he did have a fucking empire. He did rule his own empire. And it's actually in the original series of Star Trek, in the original series, it's like Khan Noonien Singh. It's like he's a Sikh man. So it was implied that he always, he had an empire or something in the Middle East. And that the other nations had their own eugenics programs, and they had their own supermen. But I guess all the supermen now came from America. Okay. Okay, so this continuity is fucking retarded. So yeah, Lady Khan's tricks two guys so that Spock can neck pinch them. Apparently Spock needs a gene booster in order to change his eyes. And so what they do is apparently they beam eye juice directly into Spock's eyes so that he can pass for fucking aliens. And Spock's ears are messing up. So Lady Khan apparently met Una. Spock starts randomly screaming as his booster failed. So yeah, that's crazy, folks. It's like your boosters shots. They don't. Boosters in the future don't work apparently. So yeah. Apparently, Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery's ending happened a light year away from the planet, and that planet apparently witnessed all the shit that went down. And from their telescopes and scanning from their telescopes, they were able to reverse engineer warp technology from a fucking battle. Okay. Using, apparently, according to Captain Pike, they're apparently pointing their telescopes. And apparently they found... Apparently they were pointing their telescopes at the right time, and they saw this shit show that was Discovery Season 2 ending happening. And from that they were able to reverse engineer warp technology. Okay. Okay, first off, in astrophysics, to my knowledge, it is possible to measure waves happening in warp, like in space, like gravity waves. So if they had some sort of gravity space measuring instruments on the ground, okay, yeah, it could go haywire. If they had it set up at the right time, it could go haywire, and you could detect a gravity you could detect like a weird gravity fluctuation in space if you had the right kind of technology. That is possible. It is possible scientifically to measure gravitational waves and their effect on space. Okay, so you're pointing it. So you had your machine on the surface of the planet. It randomly starts to go off, and you have these strange data readings from you. You pinpoint it back to this area, and maybe they also have some telescopes in the sky, or something. Maybe they have some telescopes in the sky, and they're pointing at the right time, and they find some weird ass EM emissions coming from an area in space randomly, out of the background out of the interstellar background. They find an EM emission, and it's all fucking haywire. Maybe they see light being emitted from the explosions, and like light from the portal or something. So maybe they see that. But yeah, let's look at it. Let's think about that realistically, folks. If you're a scientist, you got a telescope, you're looking out in the sky. Maybe it's a radio telescope. Maybe it measures gamma rays. Maybe it measures X-rays. Maybe it measures infrared. Like, there are a whole bunch of telescopes to measure electromagnetic radiation. So you have let's say you have and there's visual light. Microwave. Let's just say let's say you have a telescope and it's pointing in the right direction. And 1 light year away, the events of Star Trek Discovery Season 2 happen. Now, if you're looking at that in your telescopes, you're seeing let's say you have a microwave telescope, you're seeing like a whole bunch of discharges of microwaves. Just basically it would be like a massive spike of microwave radiation. You're looking at it with a radio telescopes. Maybe you have like a coordinated, let's say your planet, you have a coordinated set of satellites. So you pick this up, you talk to the other guys, you turn to your satellites and whatnot, you look at it, and you're seeing, what you'd be seeing is like a random ass spike of EM radiation, light, gamma rays, infrared, microwaves. Because antimatter exploding, it's going to produce a lot of energy. That energy is going to get lost or converted into light and heat and all that. So you see this random spike in EM, and let's say maybe you're a scientist, you're seeing to this, you're not going to say at first, oh, this is man-made. You're going to say, this is some sort of new astrological phenomenon happening. You're not going to go, oh, this is a man-made alien explosions or shit. And then maybe like later on, you find out that the ground-based installation you had on the ground, it was measuring like gravitational waves pointed at that direction. So you might come to the conclusion that some sort of interstellar phenomena occurred. You're gonna come to the conclusion that some sort of interstellar phenomena occurred that randomly produced like a whole bunch of EM radiation, you're going to come to the conclusion, you're not going to say, oh, this is a firefight. You're going to come to the conclusion, oh, this is some mysterious, strange phenomenon happening. It's messing with the space, it's generating EM, and it's generating gravity waves. You might look over those waves, and would you automatically assume they're from a warp drive? Like an Akubiri drive, Probably not. Probably not. You're probably going to assume it's some sort of strange new astrological phenomenon. You and a bunch of scientists, you're gonna scratch. They're gonna look at the data. They're gonna scratch their heads, and they're gonna say this doesn't match any known phenomenon that's ever happened before. We don't know what the hell this is. That's what realistically should happen. That is what realistically should happen. No, but apparently Kurtzman and his ilk, they think if you have satellites, apparently satellite information is all you need, apparently, to reverse engineer warp drive. Yeah. No. That is ridiculous. So, yeah. The lady leader on the alien planet apparently doesn't want to stop the war. Apparently the planet they're on, it's a planetary war between two sides. And you have the lady leader who doesn't want to stop the war with the other side. Oh man, most realistic depiction of a woman leader ever. I gotta hand it to him. That is how I would imagine a wartime woman president would be like. It's like, we're not stopping the war. The Pike and the crew, they reveal that they're aliens to the lady leader. And they just punch General Order 1, the Prime Directive. They just punch it. And apparently Lady Khan mentions the Gorn and how she survived on a Gorn nursery planet. Okay, yeah. Consider this, folks. In the canon of Star Trek, the original series, the Gorn, they aren't gonna be met. There's no first contact with the Gorn until a decade later, folks. This is already bad continuity right there. So let's get this straight, folks. It's the Second Civil War, then the Eugenics War, then the World War III, which, I'm pretty sure the Democrats are gonna be. So apparently eugenics gets brought back after a second American Civil War. So and you want to know who brings it back? The Democrats. Apparently 600,000 species of animals and plants and 30% of the Earth's population died in the aftermath of the Second Civil War, a eugenics war, and a World War III. Okay. So apparently we're also killing off the animals too. Over the course of 3 horrific wars were also killing off animal species. So yeah, they're giving the aliens, it's like, they just go, it's like, they're given a choice, or like, they can like use their technology to go to war, or they can reach for the stars. Pike almost lost his job, if not for a loophole. Lady Khan was apparently saved by Una. Apparently, space pods sent to space. Apparently, apparently, some seed pods were sent into space, and that created like a space forest, a forest in space. Apparently, they built their space station around them for some reason. And yeah, it's Samuel Kirk instead of James T. Kirk. And we got a weird-looking Andorian beams aboard. We get a preview of the next episodes. So, yeah. An American Civil War was the prelude to a eugenics war. And it's not the conservatives that are going to be practicing eugenics. No. How much? No. The Democrats, they fucking bring back eugenics. Oh, wow. Wow, that's crazy. So, yeah. Now, customary for any Kurtzman trek, you got your key jangling. You got your key jangling. Customary for Kurtzman trek, you got your key jangling, you got your member berries. Jangling the keys. So, yeah. But overall, to get past all the crazy bullshit in this episode, overall, they actually managed to create a passable facsimile of Star Trek. Who knew it? I didn't know they had these. I didn't know these. They actually managed to create some actual Star Trek. Very, 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 very derivative Star Trek, I might add. Very, very derivative Star Trek. It's like, to boldly go where other Star Trek series have gone before. That should be the tagline of this series. To boldly go where other Star Trek series have gone before, and other sci-fi series that have gone before, that have done way better. Because, this is passable. This is lukewarm, passable Star. This is like lukewarm Star Trek. They're playing it safe. Very, very safe. Like, it's almost as if they were mandated to play it safe, to actually produce something that is actually can appeal to Star Trek fans. It's almost like they're doing that. Almost. 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 But it's always about the subtle game with these folks. It's always the subtle game that they play. Like Lahan, Nooney, and Singh. Well, it is... You have a descendant of Khan on the ship. Well, it's all well and... Well, that's all well and good. It now implies that Khan is now a bad father. So you still got a little bit of that going on. And of course, you got Nurse Chapel and you got Uhura. Jangle the keys. Jangle the keys. But no, yeah, they brought in Uhura. You want to know why they brought in Uhura? So that they can have their own Uhura and Spock dynamic going on. They wanted to. This is directly they want to get the love triangle thing. They want to tap into some of that potential. They want to tap into that like love triangle potential they had in Star Trek, like Star Trek in the Star Trek movies, the Abrams verse movies, the Kelvin timeline where Spock had a relationship with Uhura. They want to tap into that. So they're already tapping into that kind of shipping energy already. You also have Nurse Chapel, who had a crush on Spock. You have her. So yeah, they wanna play anime shipperoo bullshit. So yeah. Also, the look of the Andorians. It's like Andorians. It's like they're blue-skinned people with antennas. They have the hair like a normal human, but they don't have fucking facial ridges like they're fucking Klingons. It's like, did this Andorian guy... Anyway, so yeah, they actually tried to make passable Star Trek. I'm actually legitimately surprised. It was actually somewhat watchable, which is more than I can say for Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. It was actually somewhat watchable. So yeah, I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. Should you watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Well, wait until the end of this season. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, I'm the Blood Knight, the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay frosty. Stay sexy, San Diego. Get your Jules in one where you can. I am a spaceman. Invest in GameStop. Support Gina. Peace out, folks. Peace out.